This week I set our serious mulching attachment to work on a massive patch of bramble outside my office. Gorse continues its quite understandable vendetta against me, and I finally finish opening up our Riverbend. Stay tuned to the end to see how this massive project has turned out.
Oh, good afternoon. It's like on a Friday afternoon. There's about an hour left of the day before it's time to go in and do dinner and everything and say hi to the kids. But I've been staring outside of this office all week, working hard, and these brambles have been really upsetting me. I've been just looking at them for like a whole year now. I have trimmed around here in the past, but never with this new Oregon mulching attachment we've got, which Becky was so raving about last weekend that I thought I'd give it a go today. So I'm going to do just about half an hour of stuff of trimming and see what I can make of this. There's loads of stones and bits of wood underneath all this, but I just want to get on top of all this bramble because I think that's just going to feel good. I've got all my work done, so it's a nice thing to round off the week. So let's get all the gear on. Of course, this is set to Becky's size, so I may need to let it out a little. Yes. Not quite rich enough for his and hers trimming outfits. Okay, let's give it a go. I mean, that is pretty good, isn't it? I mean, that's only about 15 minutes and that's very satisfying. Yeah, as a before and after, that is not bad. I obviously haven't done every single strand and mulched it right down, but looking pretty good. It may not be completely clear, but it's sufficiently de-brambled for me. And then as and when they come back this year, it's going to be easier to see where they are. I feel like I'm saying that quite a lot at the moment. This is all to do with us starting to get on top of how to look after this place long term. And obviously I'll be able to get in possibly just a little bit closer with the mower. But there are, you probably saw a couple of sparks flying, there are some big bits of stone and old tree bits under here. So it is at some point going to need a real proper clear. Really, it just needs a digger to go through. But a digger is still a ways off for me budgetarily. But wouldn't that be nice, living in a place like this, to be able to do some groundworks and some leveling and some, even places like here, look, if I turn you around a bit, you can see there's a pile there. And I'm not sure what that pile is. In fact, let's go and have a look. Because I've tried digging into it for an exploration and all I found so far is soil. But what I think it probably is, it's either a pile of stones, because that's what people do, they just take all the stones out of a field and pile it up, or it's remnants of an old building, because there's some of old buildings, old farm sheds, barns and stuff from over the centuries, decades probably more likely, but this certainly been farmed here for 200 or 300 years. So there's old structures that have just been obviously put into the ground. So I think if I were to dig with a digger in here, I'd probably find some old brickwork and concrete and such. Anyway, I might just do a little bit more, because check out our old friend Broom over here. These are almost past the point where I can, yeah, see that one I can pull up but not get the root. So I think I'm just going to trim these down. Well, that's going to do me for a nice bit of satisfying Friday afternoon clearing. It's got the worst of the broom down before it can establish. There's a couple more bits of bramble around here, but the one in front of my office was the main bit that was bugging me and has been for a long time. So I'm happy to have that done. And that's another half an hour that I've done that I no longer have to do. And then the more of them you can tick off, the better your life is, right? The better your stress levels are, the better you feel. And it's a bit of work outdoors. I've been stuck in my office all week, so that's good for me. And the rain held off. So all in all, I'd say that's a pretty successful Friday evening. We're off to see Ray this weekend in Glasgow. Very excited we are too. Kids' first concert, mine and Becky's first concert in an age, because we've had kids all this time. And so yeah, all that will be very nice. Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, I'm back on the Riverbend. We're trying to open it up. And the challenge with these ones is going to be, are they going to fall in the burn? I'll just have to do my best. These ones are easy enough, but it's the ones right down on the bank. I'll have to get in there as quickly as I can. But if any do end up in the burn, I suppose I might be able to get down and fish them out before they leave our property. That might be quite a funny race against time. We'll do what we can. Goes without saying that I am rather proud of this view that we've managed to open up. I haven't done it alone, and it's taken a few weeks, not of constant toil, but you know, when we can fit in days like today. The weather hasn't been on our side in 2026, but as I stand here at the end of February on a sunny evening, thinking about the spring and summer days ahead, this entire riverbank is now opened up. It's beautiful, and it just connects the small hark and the orchard with the big hark a lot better. It just makes it all flow through a lot more. And I can see myself coming down here and relaxing quite a bit. I've managed to rope Becky into helping me move this second one of these, and we thought, I don't know, we just bung it around here for now. What do you think? That needs the de-lichenification treatment that I did on the other one last year. But that is quite the view. It's been a very, very hard job. And daughter and Becky and myself have pushed ourselves, but I'm hopeful now that this riparian zone, at least, these root systems are going to stay in place. I'm hoping not all the plants die, and then when they start coming back I can trim them just with the loppers like you saw me do on the bank. So there's nothing else to say really, other than I'm really tired and sweaty, but feeling great because I got that job done. So I now declare the Riverbend job complete. Just out of shot is a giant pile of stuff that we have no idea what to do with just yet, because I can't use it all for the dead hedge in the woodland, much as I pretended to Becky I had a plan for it. I think we might be burning some of it, and some of it might end up in different parts of the woodland, but don't worry about that for now. But the next project, where I start on next, if I just turn you around here, is going to be here. I'm going to clear these trees and broom and gorse and shrubs and all that stuff. I can't get up here because it's pretty much vertical by the time you get there. So I've cleared what I can from the top in the past, and I'm going to be clearing at the bottom here. And we're going to start to get on top of these banks. And I'm just trying not to look over here further down the river, where you might notice there actually are some more broom and gorse along the middle here. I mean, I could go on and on and on with this gorse and broom clearing, and there's a lot up on the top field, but you have to pick your battles, I think, and this was one that we wanted to have our lovely Riverbend cleared. And now that's done. So I'm going to stop waffling. I'll pat myself on the back. Well done you, and well done daughter and wife, and Riverbend, beautiful. I might even give it a name, don't know. But thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Learning the Good Life. We'll see you next week.